Safety first. As per the last census, the Indian workforce is over 400 million strong. By 2024, that number could very well cross 600 million, a 39.1% of the total Indian population. Over 42% work in heavy industries, use heavy machines, cope industrial hazards. A 17% of India's GDP comes from manufacturing industries. Safety is the first aid of the uninjured. Safety tops all the priorities in industrial sector. Worldwide, we have 340 million occupational accidents and 160 million victims of work-related illnesses annually. 6,000 die every day. Safety is a challenge. Be it any industry, organization, or an employee, everyone needs to be safe. Humans do, machines do. Industrial safety parameters are getting complex with each passing day. Elimination of industrial hazards is a dire necessity. Prevention of work-related injury is a prerequisite. Ask Abhinav Dar, a manager from one of the Fortune 100 companies, who lost his employee to a fatal industrial accident. His workers lost morale. His company lost productivity by 20%. Questions stare right into our eyes. How to be safe? What is the solution? Who can keep us safe? Well, maybe God can, but we try too. We provide solutions. We help keep the industry safe and give you round-the-clock visibility of your assets. Maybe God can, but we try too. We provide solutions. We help keep the industry safe and give you round-the-clock visibility of your assets. We are the Hacklab Solutions. We follow a 360-degree approach, considering all the three dimensions of safety implementation: management, machines, and workers. With advancement of AI, next-gen automation is all about machines and humans coexisting, each taking care of the other. Our aim, hence, is safety for productivity. We use IoT hardware integration with sharp AI edge processing, real-time environment monitoring, data insights, and worker safety profiling. We estimate risk, employ professionals, analyze scenarios, and provide solutions. Our systems can predict failures, warn you, and take action. Our suite of tracker products cater to major Fortune 500 companies and several industrial sectors ranging from FMCG, logistics, mining to metals, and manufacturing. Our safety product verticals include collision avoidance system, pedestrian alert system, AI-based compliance monitoring, safety interlocks, and smart traffic management system. Our security product verticals include tracker tags, smart tracker cam, tracker PA system. We have been recognized as the best Indian startup in the automation domain by Technovation Awards conducted by India Electronics and Semiconductor Association, IESA. We won the award for the Best Company and Innovation Showcase category by SIC IT Kanpur. We have gained trust of clients like Unilever, ITC, Pindalco Industries, and top Fortune 500 companies availing our products and services.
Podcast. I'm your host Amber, and today we have with us Krishna Theertha, who is currently working as a deputy manager in the EHS department at Tata Projects. Apart from her professional work, she is deeply passionate about forest safety, and she is conducting research on ways to prevent forest fire. She has also published a paper on this topic. We also are joined by Mr. Vikram Rastogi, who is the founder of Hacklab Solutions. Thank you for joining us today. Let's start our conversation. So, Krishna, let me start with you. Tell us something about your journey in the field of safety and what initially drew you into this.
Yeah, hi everyone. My journey into safety was started in a rather natural way. I have a background in civil engineering. I have a BE degree, and after qualifying my GATE, I have pursued an MTech in safety and fire engineering from College of Engineering QSAT. Initially, what I was drawn into safety because that was the most demanded course in QSAT at that time. But later on, I continue in this field because I knew that I impact some lives positively, and somehow I'm being the reason that someone goes home safely at the end of the day. This is what keeps me motivated to continue in this field. And I started my career in safety from Tata Consulting areas. Later on, I moved to Tata Projects and now working as deputy manager in the EHS department of Tata Projects.
Thank you for sharing with us.
Yeah.
So today's topic is a very important topic, which is women in safety. Let me bring Vikram into this first. Vikram, you have been in this industry from 2017. So what are your thoughts about women in safety as well?
Yeah, so since 2017, we have been working in the safety field, and we have interacted with a lot of safety officers in various organizations, including companies like Unilever, Coca-Cola, ITC. And what I have understood from all the experience that I have is that women safety officers are one of the better safety officers that I have seen. It might be because of various reasons. Because of the organizations they work with, they are also promoting human safety. So they choose engineers who are good in those fields. But I feel that there is some inherent quality in women which helps them become better safety officers, because they have that nature which is, I should not say this, but in males we do not see them that often. So that is probably what I have felt over the last 6, 7, 8 years that we have been working in this field right now. And yeah, so that has been my experience with some of the safety officers that I have dealt with.
Krishna, you heard Vikram. Would you like to add anything to his comments?
Yeah, definitely. That was interesting because women in safety is something, it was very rare at the starting and now it is very common. Very common, but yeah, it's getting used to it, people.
Right.
Yeah, so basically, initially when we started, like not many safety officers used to be women. But our first interaction when we started working on the first project, our first interaction was with a women safety officer. For us, it has been like very positive growth from that point onwards. But yes, we have seen a lot of people working in the field of safety, especially when, because safety per se is not just about engineering, it's not just about, it's also about caring, right? So you have to care about human lives, you have to care about people. So that is something that comes naturally to a lot of people, and especially women, it comes naturally. So that has been really unique, and I'm seeing a lot of growth in this sector, especially for women.
Right. So, Krishna, I would like to ask you, what are some of the unique challenges which women face in safety roles, particularly industries which are dominated by men?
One of the unique challenges what I face is this navigating a work environment. So it's not usually easy when you are the only woman in a room or on the site. So it's difficult, but I have learned to overcome these challenges with confidence and resilience within. The other challenge, what I felt, is dealing with the perceptions. People will be like they underestimate you or they doubt you for your technical expertise, and because of your gender. However, once you show them that you are committed to the work, and if they know your knowledge on this field, and if they know that how your ability to lead the site, their perceptions slowly change. What I have been always fortunate enough to work with those great leaders who had the ability to see the competence of the gender, which helped me grow in this field. The other challenge is the physical demand at the site work, because as a woman, you sometimes have to prove yourself a little more just to gain respect from the workforce. But once you gain that respect, it's like you are into the team. They ask all suggestions and all problems, everything from you. So we are part of the team once we gain that respect.
Okay. So you have to gain their trust from the beginning,
Yeah.
and then they start to include you or be more inclusive.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think, as organizations, what should they do to better support and encourage more women to pursue career in safety?
In my experience, what the most important thing what I felt was mentorship. The mentorship plays a very huge role in this because when a woman in safety, if she is encouraged and supported by a great safety mentor in her department, so what they see is they see the possibility to succeed in that field. The other thing what women fear is the sanitation issues at site or at the field. So once they have the confidence that the company is providing them proper site sanitation and safety gears for working, then we can see that there will definitely be a significant difference in encouraging more women to join the workforce. Lastly, what I can say is organizations should celebrate the achievements of women in safety at field. So this would highlight like some role models who can inspire others also to enter into the field.
I would like to bring Vikram into this and ask him what are his thoughts.
Yeah. So as told, like one of the major thing is mentorship, right? So for any kind of a role, there has to be a proper support, either from a senior and also from the organization, right? So from both of them, a proper support is needed. Then only it is true for any kind of a role, not just safety, but any role without the support of a senior person or the organization, nobody can grow in any field, right? And especially because there is a lot of change that needs to be done, especially as Krishna was mentioning that on the side the sanitation issues are there. Most of the things are built around men, and so a lot of things are not done keeping the women officers or women safety officers in mind. Even for workforce, right? Most of the people who are working as laborers or any in the workforce also, they are mostly men in many of the areas. So it is something that has to be taken by the organization, and it is an initiative that they have to take, and that is why a lot more support is needed to make it work. It has to be driven right from the top, then only change can happen. Like it's not something that only an engineer or a site in charge can do it. They have to be driven from a top down manner, so people right at the top of the organization have to drive it. Then only these kind of changes can be brought in the society, because it's a societal change, right? You are changing the behavior of people in a working environment which is male dominated, so it's not something that can be driven very easily. But once you have proper focus, you have proper instruments that you can put in that direction, then obviously a lot of changes can be done.
Next question, which I was thinking about, was Krishna, if you can discuss any personal experience where your presence as a woman in safety made a difference in the workplace situation.
Yeah, one experience that stands out for me is the respect I've gained from my male colleagues. So, when I first started, there were definitely moments where I felt that I need to prove myself for all this. And however, over time, I have built a rapport with the workforce. So I remember a particular incident when I identified a critical safety hazard while usual on a routine site inspection. So because I had established a strong relationship with the team, they trusted my words, my judgment, and we were able to address the issue very quickly. So preventing a potential serious accident. In that moment, I felt that my presence had made a significant difference, not just in terms of safety, but also in building a mutual trust. Aspect is that in the training sessions, I might be the only woman in the room. But when I speak with authority and confidence, it resonates with everyone. So it's moments like these that remind me why I am in this field. So it makes a difference, not just in the project, but also in the lives of people.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has there been any instance where you face some issues because of your gender while on site?
In the starting stages, it would be like difficult to make them understand because they think that a woman is telling should be listen. That male ego, to overcome that male ego is the one of challenge I have faced. That is what I faced in gender.
And has there been scenarios, because you would be working with people continuously who are contract workers or people who are changing frequently, right? Has their approach towards you improved over time? Like when new people join in, do you see that same behavior from them, or has it evolved over time?
It improved over time. It's not like how it started, it is getting improved over time. There is a lot of improvement I see. They started trusting me. They were like, there is a problem at site. They started trusting me and started telling me problems. So that is where I felt that, yeah, they trusting me and they are trusting my judgments and my words. And they started sharing their problems.
Got it. Got it. One of the major issues that I have seen on site also when some of my female colleagues went with me to the site is PPEs not being properly assigned for women. Let's say the shoes are not of women sizes, or the safety shoes and other PPEs also are of not the same size. They are not easily available, so they had to compromise. They had to either wear a larger shoe and then walk. So those kind of compromises they had to do on site. Obviously they went as visitors, they were not part of the organization as such. But do you see that happening nowadays, or has it improved over time, especially in the organizations that you have worked with?
Improved. I have not faced such an issue with my organization so far. So I think it has improved.
Okay.
You know, one thing which I remember is when I checked your LinkedIn profile, you have a picture over there, and I was counting. There are 33 men and 2 female colleagues in that picture. So there is a 6% representation. Through this podcast, we want to make people aware and bring that percentage higher. I think, is that your work picture?
Uh, are you speaking about my cover picture?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next question, Krishna, what advice would you like to give young women who are aspiring to build a career in safety, especially in challenging sectors?
To the newcomers, my advice would be very simple. It is just to be persistent. You have also have to be curious. Stay curious. What is happening? What should come in your mind always? So that will bring you more the questions, more the answers, and more the knowledge. So never doubt your capabilities at any cases. It is also like also don't be afraid to speak up. All the young women or men, whoever it may be, you should not be afraid to speak up even when you are the only woman in the room. Your voice matters, which aids invaluable insights to the meetings, to everywhere. People are ready to hear your concerns and ideas. Also, as I said earlier, you have to surround yourself with good mentors who encourage and who challenge you to push your boundaries. That would also be a great improvement for the newcomers.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. When you mentioned about mentorship and mentoring, was Mr. Josie John one of your mentors?
Definitely, he was my first mentor. He was the one who took me to TC because he interviewed me and I was working under him. Under his mentorship, he pushed me through all the challenges. We were two girls. He equally encouraged us. He equally encouraged us in going up to improve ourselves each time he met us. So he was great inspiration for us.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's lovely to hear. I think there was one question which Vikram had in mind. Would you like to ask, Vikram?
So this is one question which I want to ask all the safety officers. Has there been any story that you want to share with us about, let's say, some accident which you feel should have been prevented or could have been prevented, and that was a major accident that you oversaw or you investigated?
If you're asking about accidents, lucky or fortunately, there was no such accident in the area where I worked on because we were like full on and we tried to mitigate all the hazards. We usually identify all the hazards and usually mitigated it, and fortunately, there was no accident so far.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yes.
Okay. There has also been a conversation around like engineering colleges when I think all three of us are engineers first. So there is very little subjects on safety in our engineering colleges. So do you think including a subject on safety will make any difference?
I think there is a subject safety. Am I wrong?
There is? Okay, I don't know.
No,
Vikram?
obviously it was part of your curriculum, but it is not there in generic. Let's say in BTech, normally we do not get to know about safety. Were you taught about safety in your college in BTech?
There was there was only one portion of safety, but not as a subject. It was just one portion in construction, just a chapter.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, definitely it will be great if there is a subject separately.
So basically, we were interacting with some mentor of ours, and he was of the opinion that safety, like finance, is something that everyone has to think about in any part of their life. So these are two critical areas that normally is not taught to people in their early years. For example, as we do not know how to manage our finances, similarly we hardly know anything about how to operate like how to be safe in various kind of environments. So these are the things that he was suggesting, like in starting from school or colleges, there has to be some motivation or some curriculum some way has to be integrated with these topics as well. So that's why that was the intention of asking this question, if something has changed, because we passed out 12 years ago. So I'm not sure what is happening right now. Maybe something has changed over time, but I guess from my interaction so far, I don't think much has changed.
Yeah, it should be included as a separate subject itself.
Right.
Okay, sounds good. Krishna, like you're working on the field, so how have you felt with the incoming of new technology? AI has come up, IoT has come up. How is that making your job easier?
As you have already mentioned in the introduction that I'm researching a paper on forest fires. So I have brought in all the AI technologies into it. So I'm working on it, I'm researching on it that how can AI be a part of that. So I'm working on it. It is very, very, very beneficial. I have published a paper on that also. I can share the link.
Sure, please share the link. So what is this paper about? If you can just give us some insights about it.
It is like how to prevent forest fires. I started this paper since my MTech. I'm researching since my MTech. I've been researching in many forests. I go to forests with the help of range officers, get permission, special permission, and I do that. So from there on, I'm like investing my time into see how AI can be incorporated in this.
So does it involve putting cameras on site to monitor the area and see if fire is coming in certain locations, and so that the cameras themselves can react to it?
Cameras, sensors, all the drones, and how it's like fully automated. There is no need of any human interference. The sensors will be sparked up, and all automatically. How can the fire be suppressed? Usually it happens in buildings and all, but not in forests. So I'm thinking like how can this be incorporated into forests in a much more natural and safe way.
So how do you normally prevent for it? Let's say forest fire has already started, right? So how do you normally control it? What are the control mechanisms that are currently available?
See, the control mechanisms, first of all, it depends on how it started and how is it spreading. So there are a lot of I'm researching on it in the forest. I took a map, and I'm researching now. I'm researching on how which are the risky areas. It's like man-made fires is also there, natural fires is also there. So finding out the risky areas, that is how I'm trying to prevent to set a boundary and how can we prevent it. It's obviously natural that they ring an alarm is ring to the range officers, and from there they initiate to come into the area of fire. By then they start extinguishing the fire. It might have almost spread. So this is where the lag is, and this is where I'm working on to how to control that.
In US, I am aware that they use helicopters and all to control.
Yeah.
In India, do we do something like that? Do we have some technology?
Yeah, that's what. Rather than helicopter, I was planning something with drones or something like that. But still, I'm researching on it.
Okay. Yeah, drones are something which can definitely be used in these areas because first of all, they can be easily made autonomous, and that and
With technological.
correct. So you are currently working while working on doing your. Is it part of your job right now, or how did you get involved in
Not
this?
my job. I'm doing it in my free time because I did it in my MTech. I just got interested in the field, so I'm continuing it during my free time.
Okay, so it's like a hobby that you have picked up.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, I'm seriously working on it because later I can do a PhD on that.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so forest fire is one of the areas where a lot of research is going. But okay, if you can just tell us, because we are very novice or amateurs about it, in like tropics, the fires are different than how it is there in US because in tropics it's more green, right? It's more wet, I would say. So the fires are not that big as it might become in US or any other country where it is more temperate. What kind of problems normally we see in the forest fires in India? What kind of how is it different from the forest fires outside India?
It's like in India, main thing depending on the season. Forest fires occur at the peak of the summertime. If and the other thing is it's because of some tribal people or the locality staying near the forest fire, which might not be the case in the globally, which can only happen to India because the mindset of people sometimes is yeah.
No, I am aware this happens globally. I visited the US in 2019. I stayed there for two months. One day I remember clearly there was full. I was in California side, so it was fully red. The sky had become fully red, and I was just wondering what was happening. And then there was an alert that came on mobile phone saying that there is a forest fire, and because of which there was a health warning that was issued, like the smoke and other things will come. And then I asked my friend, I have never seen this in India, like this kind of a smoke coming out from forest. He said this is the common occurrence here, either because of human activity or naturally. There are a lot of forest fires in that area, and whenever there is a fire, there is a big health warning also, which is issued at that point of time. And one thing that he also mentioned is that whenever there is a forest fire, right, sometimes they will not even control the fire because there are some advantages of forest fires as well. I didn't understand it at that point of time. Can you just tell me what is the advantage of having a forest fire, because I don't understand if there is any advantage as such.
Maybe it's unavailable.
Okay.
Okay. Krishna, yeah, last question. Like looking into the future, what changes do you hope to see in the industry regarding women and safety roles?
I would love to see more women taking up leadership role in safety in all the sectors. So I know there is still a long way to go, but more the women in senior safety positions, more it is encouraging for the young women to be in part of the team. I take up a vision of that workplace where I'm thinking just safety is not just a job, but it is a shared responsibility that everyone takes ownership and regardless of the gender, may it women or men. It should be taken as the shared responsibility.
Agreed. Yeah. As we come to the closing of our podcast, I would like to ask the final remarks, the parting remarks. So maybe Vikram can go first and then Krishna can close.
So as we discussed today, there is a lot of growth possible in the industry, especially if we talk about involving women. Women basically form 50% of our society, and traditionally there has been a role that they have been very good at. And safety is one area which can directly link to that basic role that they have traditionally been given, and that can be a good starting point for having more women join the industries. Right now the ratio is very skewed, and I feel that a lot can be done to improve it.
Krishna, your final thoughts.
Yeah, as we wrap up, I just want to say that working in safety has always been a fulfilling journey for me. Yeah, yes, it has challenges. It has challenges, especially women in safety has challenges. But this opportunity to make real differences in people's life, just like I said in the earlier, to ensure that they go home safely at daily at the end of the shift. So it is like a reward that keeps me going. And I'm proud to be part of such growing community of women in safety. And I hope my journey inspires others also to join this field. Obviously, and thank you for having me on this podcast.
You're welcome, Krishna, and thanks for your conversation today. I hope to see in the next decade you change your picture and now we have 50% women in safety in your LinkedIn profile as well.
Thank you.
So thank you everyone for joining us today on this podcast. We hope you found our conversation insightful. I strongly feel women in safety will revolutionize the safety industry in the next decade. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and keep innovating. Bye bye.